the most wonderful time in 8 years. It's the happiest voting season of all. With each staff member, Trump picks Democrats up to their old tricks, just trashing them all. But it's the happiest election season of all.
It's almost like one of those jib-jab videos, you know? How long is it?
4 minutes and 21
It's a long song.
Right, yeah.
That's the only thing about these songs. Like, okay, we get it. Just you could do 2 minutes and you'd be good, you know?
It's funny, though. The music video is funny, too. I put it on my TV over the weekend.
I love that. It's the most wonderful time in 8 years. Especially the guy's voice, which sounds like he's really being obnoxious, too. The production on it's really good. We'll put that up on the stove for you. That's funny. They just keep going on and on. Anytime you can infuse the Muslim Brotherhood into a Christmas song, you got to go for it. Oh yeah, Rod the Bod, people. What's up, brother?
What's going on, Terry? What's going on this morning?
So, hey, there's already legislation pre-filed. What does that mean?
So, Jamie, good question. So what happens is effectively December 1st is when the legislature, the members, can start to file bills they want to work on next session. Pre-filed just means it was filed before January the 4th. As your listeners will soon know, you're going to come up and be a part of the opening day, which is officially January the 4th, when there's an inauguration of all the new legislators and the governor. However, one who's already in office can file bills before that date, thus the pre-filing term. And I will tell you that we're rocking and rolling. There have been over 400 pre-filed bills before that grand inaugural day. It tells me that there's going to be a very busy and robust series of legislative acts introduced.
Yeah,
and some of them are already big issue bills.
Like what? Because, I mean, to me, when I hear 400 pieces of legislation, unless they're all linked to reducing taxes or regulation, I'm bothered by the fact that there are 400 pieces of legislation already filed, because I don't know, it just sounds like a lot to me.
Well, and I'll tell you, there are a number of them, not 400, obviously, but there are a number of them that are eliminating or reducing the tax burden on Missourians, so you'll like that.
Yeah.
One of the ones we talked about, which we knew would come very early in the process, is the right-to-work legislation, which has been filed to make Missouri a right-to-work state. That's no surprise there. One of the other ones that I think is going to consume a lot of media time is we've heard for the last few years about something called bathroom legislation, and that's really dealing with the issue of sexual identification in bathrooms. And so there has been a bill filed that says in public schools you have to go to the bathroom which your biological gender dictate, and in circumstances outside of that, the schools have to accommodate people that have a transgender status with a different alternate bathroom. So I think you're going to hear a lot more about that. A number of the bills, and then there are several bills, Jamie, that have been filed that deal with banning lobbyist gifts. And so that covers probably about 10 of them, at least 390 to go. I'm beginning to work my way through them, but a number of them are conservative ideals, either restricting, reforming, reducing, or modifying government. But you know, we got a long way to go. I suspect that if you got 400 in a month and you can keep filing bills through March and April, you're probably going to get closer to 1,000 or so.
So does this bathroom bill, you said, would mandate that you have to go to the bathroom that matches your gender, but you also said it mandates that schools build another or create another bathroom for others.
No, it doesn't. They don't. I don't know that if they don't have it, I'm sure. But looking at the language of the bill, and this is just the very first iteration. As you know, these bills get amended and changed as they go through the process. It says you got to use the bathroom that corresponds to your biological, your birth gender. However, in circumstances where you have a transgender student, it appears to require the school, the public school, that is, to provide an alternative accommodation, such as a unisex bathroom, a single-stall bathroom, some kind of private space.
Right.
And in other states, that's been a point of contention because people have said they want to go to the bathroom that they identify with. This was a big, big fight about 2 years ago in Houston. And so I think you're going to see some conversations along those lines play out around this bill. So I don't know that it says you have to build, but it says you have to make some accommodation for students that have that identify with a sex other than the one they were born with. And then that's where the devil lives, right in the details. So we'll see how this plays out.
Is the right to work bill guaranteed to pass?
By every indication that I can think of, yes, and I think it will probably pass early. It was introduced by Senator Dan Brown from Phelps County near Rolla. He's a pretty strong personality. He's a guy that's kind of assured to get it done in the Senate. And so I think it will pass. And remember, in the past, the issue with right to work wasn't could the bill pass. It was you had a Democratic governor and he was vetoed, and could you override? We don't have that issue this session. What we have this session is a normal number of votes needed, which in the House is much less than the veto, and in the Senate much less than the veto. So if you get 82, which I guarantee you probably will, and 18 in the Senate, it goes to Governor Greitens. He's indicated he'll sign it right away. So I suspect that will happen very early in session, and Missouri will be on its way pretty quickly here to being a right-to-work state.
And to my knowledge, it appears that some Republicans, for instance, in Jefferson County, I can't name them, who were, because I don't know who they are, but who were against right to work, actually lost their elections. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that because I'm not sure that any Republicans lost in this last go-round.
Okay, well, I thought maybe they did before. I don't know. But, yeah, interesting. So, well, because there are some Republicans who are not in favor of this.
No, there are. And the reason that's why we didn't have, in Jefferson City, you didn't have enough votes to override the Democratic governor veto because there were Republicans that were not pro-right to work. You don't need that many votes now. So back in the last iteration, you needed 109 in the House, 23 in the Senate to override Governor Nixon's veto. Now you only need 82 and 18, so you have a lot of room for people, Republicans included, who don't like the right to work concept to vote their district, their conscience, their heart, whatever, and not have to take that override level of votes to get it done. So
right.
I think it'll happen. I think it'll happen very quickly.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, that sounds interesting. I know there are a lot of people who are, I don't know, they're not happy with the right to work thing, and, but it's going to be an ongoing debate, I'm sure.
Yeah, Jamie, you and I have a lot to talk about these next 5 months as we always cover Jefferson City.
No doubt about it. All right, buddy. 400 pieces of legislation. That just sounds, sounds like a lot. But all right, buddy. Well, good. Thanks a lot. At Rodney Boyd, and appreciate you as always, brother. All right, coming up, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Wallace and Jill Stein, plus Kellyanne Conway versus the media.